The power of faith. A long time ago, there lived an able and just king named Dhruvasanti, who ruled the kingdom of Kosala. He had two beautiful wives, Manorama and Leelavati, who each had a son named Sudarshana and Shatrujit. The boys were only a month apart in age and were raised in a lifestyle befitting their royal status. One day, the king went to the forest to hunt and was unexpectedly killed by a lion. Shocked by the unexpected loss, the people of the kingdom mourned their king's death. Tradition dictated that Sudarshana, who was the elder boy and Manorama's son, ascended the throne. However, Yudhajit, Leelavati's father, strongly felt that his grandson Shatrujit was better suited for the crown. Yudhajit was a clever king, and after some thought, he arrived in Kosala with his army to invade the kingdom's capital city of Ayodhya in an effort to make Shatrujit the new crown prince. Veerasena, Manorama's father, countered the attack and stormed the city with his own forces in support of his grandson Sudarshana. The two sides battled each other and Veerasena was killed. When Manorama learnt of her father's death, she became terrified. She was certain that her son's life was in danger in Ayodhya. So she escaped with him on the banks of the river Ganga. A revered sage named Bharadwaja took pity on both the queen and the young prince and provided them with care and shelter. With Sudarshana nowhere in sight, Shatrujit safely ascended the throne and became the king of Kosala. One day Yudhajit, Shatrujit's grandfather, learned that Sudarshana was under the protection of Bharadwaja. He thought of killing him so that the firstborn prince could not pose a threat to the throne. However, the kingdom's wise ministers advised him not to proceed with this plan while the boy was under the hermit's protection. In the hermit's ashram, Sudarshana heard a fascinating mantra one day. However, later he could recall only the first word of mantra and began chanting it repeatedly. Kleem, Kleem. Little did he know the word signified the sacred Devi. Years went by and the chanting became a part of Sudarshana's daily routine. Devi, who had finally noticed the young boy and his innocent devotion, appeared before him. She blessed him with a divine bow and arrow and promised her protection to him. Meanwhile, Sasikala, the beautiful princess of Kashi and an ardent devotee of Devi, heard about Sudarshana and Devi's blessing to him. Instantly, she felt a connection to him and fell in love, despite never having met him. Subabu, Shashikala's father, had arranged her Swayamvara, a grand gathering of prospective husbands from whom the bride would choose a groom and invited many princes to attend. But Sasikala abruptly informed him that her groom would only be Sudarshana. This upset her parents. Sudarshana was a prince without a kingdom and any supporters. But what dissuaded them most was his powerful enemy and half brother. Shatrujit, they advised Sasikala, please, dear daughter, you must change your mind for the sake of your future. Sasikala, however, remained firm, unwavering in her decision. Reluctantly, Subabu sent a trusted messenger to the forest to invite Sudarshana to the upcoming Swayamvara. Through the princess' parents still hoped that one of the other princes attending the event would change their daughter's mind. On receiving the invitation, Sudarshana grew eager to attend the event. But his mother, the queen in exile Manorama, stopped him, afraid of what lay ahead. Oh, my dear child, please don't go, she said. I know you have received a royal invitation, but it was sent just days before the Swayamvara. That in itself implies that you are not an important suitor for the princess. I am sure that Shatrujit will also be there, and I don't want to lose you the way I lost my father. Sudarshana smiled. Mother, please don't worry. Devi is with me. I belong to the clan of warriors, as do you. It is perfectly acceptable to be afraid, but it should not stop us from pursuing our path. We must push ahead. But you are my precious son, remarked Manorama sadly. Sensing that her son would not let this go, she said, well, if you must go, then I will come too. Sudarshana agreed, and soon the mother and son journeyed to Kashi. When they reached, King Shubahu welcomed them with great respect, honor, and hospitality. The next morning, Sudarshana ran into his half brother, Shatrujit, at the Swayamvara. Shatrujit was accompanied by his grandfather Yudhajit. Why are you here? Shatrujit asked, barely hiding his contempt. This is not the place for you. You don't even have an army. I am here with Devi, and here is the only support I need, responded Sudarshana. Just then, Sasikala entered the hall. Sasikala entered the hall with a garland. Softly, she said to her unhappy parents standing nearby, I don't know how many princes have come here today expecting my hand in marriage, but the truth is that it does not matter at all. My decision has already been made. I am going to marry Sudarshana. The helpless and anxious king knew that he had to call off the Swayamvara immediately. He made a loud announcement, my daughter has decided to marry Sudarshana, hence the Swayamvara will no longer take place. We welcome you as our esteemed guests, and I request you each of you to accept a few gifts. Please have a meal with us before you journey back to your own kingdoms. Yudhajit became livid. He yelled, if your daughter had already chosen Sudarshana, why did you invite the other princess? This is an insult to all of us, and I will not tolerate it. I am going to abduct your daughter and force her to marry my grandson Shatrujit. King Subahu grew pale. His army was no match for the strength and skill of Yudhajit's forces. So he turned to his daughter, my dear child, do you see the situation you have put us in? I beseech you, please change your mind and peace will prevail. I am sorry, dear father, but I must abide by my decision, responded Sasikala. Underrated, she approached Sudarshana and garlanded him, indicating to the guests present that she was now betrothed to him. In an instant, the hall turned into a battleground as Yudhajit and Shatrujit's soldiers attacked the kingdom's gods with great force. The other parties joined one of the two sides, and the battle seemed like it would never end. Suddenly, Devi appeared in the room out of nowhere, mounted in a ferocious tiger. She wore a red sari, sported a garland of mandara flowers around her neck, and had weapons clutched in her multiple hands. It was almost as if Sudarshana instinctively knew what to do next. He brought out his divine bow and began shooting arrows in quick succession. When the soldiers in the room saw Devi, they put their arms down and retreated. Yudhajit, however, too caught up in his desire to slay Sudarshana, did not recognize her. To him, she was just a woman. He roared at his soldiers, why are you cowards fleeing at the sight of a woman? Surround Sudarshana and kill him. With a slight smile and without a word, Devi killed both Yudhajit and Shatrujit with her perfectly aimed arrows. The story of Devi's power and her execution of justice quickly spread everywhere. In due course of time, Sudarshana was crowned the king of Kosala. He remained a devotee of Devi and dedicated one day a year in his kingdom to the goddess. Thank you.